All right. Well, welcome everyone. This is the Relive training, Saturday morning, September 15th, 2018. My name is Debbie Grenz, and I wanted to just welcome everyone. I went ahead and muted the lines, and it's in the question and answer mode. So if anyone has any questions, or if I call on you for anything, you could go ahead and press *6 to get on the line. But I just wanted to, again, welcome everyone, and I wanted to share a little bit. This picture you're seeing is me down in the right-hand corner, Debbie Grenz, and my 3 daughters. Katie Bainey is to my right, in front, and then Callie Lathram is behind her, and Cassie Mills is my other daughter. So we won the championship, and I know this is kind of blatant to put this up here, but we are pretty excited. Quila, you said you had some questions. Did you want to come on and ask me some questions about that, or did you want me to just share? I'm not hearing you if you're talking. Well, I guess I'll just share.
Hey Debbie, I just walked out of the room. I'm sorry. And so
okay.
I just wanted to really quick. And Tim's like, get back on there. So what was your question? I'm sorry.
You said that you wanted me to share some about the challenge, so I just didn't know if you wanted to ask questions, or if you had any specific things you wanted to know, or if you just wanted me to share a little bit.
Yes, I do. So, okay. So first of all, I think it's pretty awesome that you earned this trip, and I know that in California, the West Coast is very well represented, which I think is pretty awesome. And I wanted to know, when I look at this picture, obviously I see less of everyone, but I wanted to know, how did you get, sometimes when we talk with our family, they're like, I know. And then, even with my girls that have been on the products for almost 3 decades now, they, whenever they have issues, they go, I know, I need to take more shakes or stuff like that. But how did you get your family all in? How did you get your girls all in and be totally committed to do this with you?
Well, it was actually I started losing weight, this, a couple of years ago using the Relive products. I have 6 children that we're raising, ages 7 to 15 now. And I knew that at 61, I wasn't going to be able to keep up with them if I didn't do something about the outside of my body. I'd been on Relive for almost 10 years and really healthy inside, but outside I was just not healthy. So I started using the products and losing weight, and about a year in, the weight had slowed. I'd lost 35 pounds, and it just slowed down, and I was thinking, well, 35 pounds is 35 pounds. At least I've lost that. And Relive came out with a Fit 3. And at that point, I was really excited. So the first thing I heard Tina say was, this is not a lose weight quick program. This is not an overnight thing. This is a lifestyle change. This is for people who eat birthday cake, or who have cake on birthdays. And I raised my hand. That's me. I didn't want to be that person that lost weight and gained it all back. So I knew that I needed to do something like that. Started the Fit 3 and lost another 30 pounds, and gained a totally different lifestyle, because now I love to exercise. It's not something that I hate to do, and I'm not joking about that. When I was in school, I was born with my hip out of place, and I don't know if that, and my back, I had a real serious issue with my back, and I would get an excuse not to be in PE. That's how much I hated exercise. But my daughters were watching me, and they saw that, I was able to have that piece of birthday cake when we had our family birthday party, and I didn't have to worry about that. I asked for a corner piece, but it wasn't the 3x3 or whatever piece I had before. It was a smaller piece, and I was satisfied with that. And I did the challenge, the first challenge, and I, like I said, lost 65 pounds and didn't win that challenge. And Tina said, you need to get on the other challenge, the new challenge. There's a new challenge coming up. You need to get on the new challenge. And so when it came out, I was like, wow, I have 3 daughters that really need a lifestyle change. So and they, like I said, they've been watching me, and all 3 of them were actually kind of doing this already, not really, they were using Fit3 and not really, they weren't on the challenge, the first challenge, let's put it that way. But when the second challenge came out, I said, hey, and I think I even did it from conference when we found out what it was. I said, hey, there's a new challenge. It's called Me Plus 3, and it's for 4 people, no less, no more. How would you guys like to do this? And all 3 of them immediately said, I'm in. And so it was just, the rest is history. I can't say that we've drawn closer together because we were already really close, but I am just so thrilled for them that they are on this lifestyle change too. And like I said, I'm just thrilled for them. Cassie has lost almost 100 pounds now, and the rest of them, Katie's right behind her. I think Katie's up to 75 or maybe 80 now. Callie, I don't know how much she's lost, but she's lost a lot too. So we're thrilled. But that's why I have the picture up. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and how different is their life with their family? I mean, how has that changed?
Oh, Cassie has gone through some real hard times this last year, and I believe that because of Fit3 and because of building her confidence and everything, she's grown so much. She is such a strong person that it's just it blows me away every day to watch her. Katie is teaching first grade this year and going, and she has, she's able to keep up with those first graders, and their family is just right behind them all the way. Their husbands are, now that we've won the challenge, their husbands are right behind them, and they've challenged us now. They say that they're going to win the next challenge. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, their lives have changed also.
And finally, one more question. How has this affected your business? I mean, what has all of this done to your business and their business?
Oh, people are coming out of the woodwork. They ask questions, and right now we're in that phase of people asking questions and saying, really, what have you done? What's going on? And continuing to watch. When you put an advertisement in the newspaper, you can't just put one in and expect it to get anybody's attention. You have to keep putting it in there over and over and over again, much like the ad that I heard that I had to hear forever before I called. People are in their lives are in that questioning right now, and I'm sure that their businesses are going to explode when everybody comes in, and that's kind of been the way it's been for me. There's been people who have been watching me and for years, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what did you do? And I said, well, the same thing I've been telling you for 10 years, relive. So yeah.
Well, I'm excited, Debbi. You're one of the best, and I know that the training today is going to be awesome, but I'm just so happy for you. I mean, you should be and continue. I'm so proud of you, just everything that you've done. So we're excited.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Quila. And I am going to go ahead and get training started here now. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, but we'll do it. And I want to congratulate everybody for being on training today. This is a big step in moving your business forward. And we're just going to have some fun today. If anybody has some questions, go ahead and pop in there and ask, and I will see if I can answer them. We're going to get this going here. Whoops. All right. All right. So this is Business Success Training, Relive Business Success Training. Again, September 15th, 2018, and my name's Debbie Grenz, and we're going to get started here. All right. How do you succeed with Relive? This is the circle of success, and these are the fundamental steps, obviously, you need to do every day to grow your business. Fuel your business with new people. If you don't have new people coming in, then your business is not growing. The key action is now. These are just, again, steps that you take: identify, connect, share the story, ask for a decision, register, and go. And these are just the fundamental steps. And obviously, the reason it's in a circle is because you do them over and over and over again. First one is identify. Make a list. I still haven't got through my list, believe it or not. In 10 years, I still haven't got through my list. 10 product prospects and 10 business prospects. And write down why you thought of each one of them. If you're driving down the road, Quila says this all the time. If you're driving down the road and you think of someone, don't say, oh, well, when I get to my stop, I'll write their name down. If you have to, pull over to the side of the road and write their name down, because there's a reason they came to mind. Time and time again, I've called people and said, you know, I was thinking about you, just what's going on in your life? I wanted to catch up a little bit. And they will say, oh, I lost my job, or I've been struggling with this back pain, or something like that. And there's always a reason why they came to your mind. So make sure that you write them down as soon as they come to your mind. Then you decide who's the first 5 people that you want to contact today. And this is actually, when you sit down with a new person, these things are very important to do with them right away. Contact somebody immediately when you sit down with a new person. Always have new people to talk to. You always do. There's new people come to my church every week. I don't know about yours, but it seems like I walk into church and say, oh, well, who's that person? I've never seen that person before. They may stay, or they may go someplace else, but you always have more people on your list. And find ways to add to your list every day. There's different groups out there that you can become involved with. If you have kids, they're in sports, you always have different people that you're running into there. Connect with them. Review the first 20 prospects with your upline. Who's first? What do you say? Well, share your excitement. There's a reason why you are with Relive. There's a reason why you decided to get on training this morning. Share your why. Tell them why you're doing it. And, you know, I tell people there's no way that after 10 years I would still be doing this if I didn't believe in what I was doing, both product and the business. And you can use the company tools to validate that. There's so many things that you can use to back you up. The goal is to set an appointment with them. Don't hose them down when you first talk to them. Don't give them all the information. Just maybe say something like, there's something that I think you might want to take a look at, and if we can exchange information, I'll give you a call and let you know about what that is. Opening sentences. You know, we all have our way of saying something about Relive. Like I just said, a lot of times if I'm standing in a grocery store in a line and I hear somebody talking about their allergies being bad, I'll ask, so what are you doing for that? And maybe they'll say, well, I'm on this medication, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. And I'll say, well, would you like to hear something that might be a little more helpful? And I'll tell them, you know, I used to be on medication too, and I don't have to take that anymore. And then again, I'll ask to exchange information. I never give out business cards because business cards go in that round file when they get home, or they get stuck in the console of their car and never to be found again. So I always try to give them my phone number and get their phone number before I leave them. Use the tools and stories. Stories are everything. Share the Relive story. I don't know that there's very many companies out there, maybe Tupperware, or I know that, what is it, the spice company, I can't remember the name of it, is out there. Watkins is still out there, I think, but there's not a lot of businesses out there that have been around almost 30 years and never changed their name. And, we need to share the whole story. We need to use the business tools that we have to share every part of Relive, because you never know what they're going to be interested in. They may be interested in basic core nutrition, and come to find out they have a $500 bill that they every month that they don't have the money to pay for, and you can help them with that. There are ways to do that. There are in-home parties. There's meetings and events, webinars. We use a lot of webinars nowadays because of our society and the way that we work. Conference calls, your upline. Use your upline. That's the first one of the funny stories that I could tell is that it took me to, I don't even how many years to conference to realize that your upline there's a reason why your upline is number one on the list, because that's the first person that you should connect somebody to. Other distributors, Lifestyle Magazine is an amazing thing to share. Hand it out, say, take a look at this. It's really interesting, and I'm going to get back with you in a couple of days and see what you thought. And that way they don't just take it home and lay it on their table. They know that you're going to be asking them what they thought about that magazine, so they will take a look at it. The Relive blog videos, there's so much. Relive has given us so much, and this new app that we have, oh my goodness, so easy to just say, okay, give me your phone number and I'll just send you a quick video. So easy. You don't have to know everything. Be honest. Don't sit down with somebody and act like you've been doing this for 10 years, because they're going to look at you and say, oh my goodness, I could never do that. Just be real. Be real with people and share from your heart what this is all about. And ask for a decision. Be prepared to do business. Have some product with you. Have the tools that you need. Again, it's so easy nowadays to sign somebody up with that app, or just call Relive. Say, here, I've got somebody that's really interested in purchasing some product, and give them the phone. There's so many different ways to get somebody started on the product and started in the business. It's just one of those things that you just have to realize the company that we work for or work with, they have given us so much. They've given us everything we need. If we can't do this, then there's a reason for that, and it's because probably we're not trying. I hate to say that, but there is a way for everyone to do this. I'm thinking that maybe I'm moving a little bit too fast, because I was going to share a little bit about stories. There was a time when I had ankle surgery, actually, and we had just came home from conference in August, I think it was, and I had surgery in September. And I knew coming home from that conference that this was a gift that we needed to share with more people, and I just needed to open my mouth and share. And then I had ankle surgery. I was on the couch for quite a while. I had to be off of my foot for 6 weeks. But that September, I decided that I was going to put more people on calls with other people than I'd ever done. And so every day I had my list, and I would put people on with somebody else. I would have somebody share their story with this list. And that month we were first in the nation. And I always say, if I could do this sitting on a couch with my foot up and a telephone and placed first in the nation, anyone can do this. So if you think that I don't think stories are the most important part of this business, then you're mistaken. Follow-up is the second, for me anyway, follow-up is the second most important thing, because if I hadn't followed up with those people, if I hadn't kept putting them on calls after they started the products, they probably wouldn't have have done what they did. So this is really important. This says that you recommend their order. There are so many ways to get people started on Relive, but the most important thing, I think, is the core nutrition. If you have somebody that wants to lose weight, I had one lady that that's all she wanted to do. She just wanted to lose weight. And I said, well, but you've told me you've got all this other stuff going on. You don't have any energy. You don't have, you're not sleeping at night. You have all this other stuff going on. I said, I just think that you really need to start with the core nutrition. I said, when I started Relive, I lost weight just using the core nutrition. So I got her started. She started feeling better. She started moving more. She started losing weight. She was happy. But if I would have just put her on the Fit3, I don't know that would have happened. So you just need to listen to people and do what is best for them. Where do you want to get started? Again, you listen to what they've got going, and then you suggest maybe core nutrition. This is a really good place. The Super Pack is an awesome thing, because you've got the core nutrition and the Lunar Rich capsules. That will make anybody feel better. I would put that in writing. That will make anybody feel better. If it's just a little bit more energy, they're going to feel better. Where do you want to get started? Build a Relive business? Maybe they want to make $500. That's where I was. I had lost my position. I'd gone for 6 months looking for a job and hadn't found anything, and I was desperate. I needed to make some money. When I lost my position, we lost a third of our income, and a third of our income was a lot. But it's you just need to find out, do they want to be a customer? That's great. We need customers too. Distributor, or do they want to be a master affiliate? Because either way, wherever they want to start is good for them to be. Register and go. Okay, we're zooming through this training this morning, it seems like, but I guess that's okay. You need to follow up with customers, help with their product regimen. I'll tell you a little story that really taught me a lesson. I put somebody on the products when I started the business, and I didn't follow up. I tried. I called, and sometimes she would answer and sometimes she wouldn't, but I didn't really do as much follow-up as I needed to. And she had some issues going on, and I could have helped her through those issues had I done my follow-up correctly. But I didn't, and she stopped using it, and she's never used it again. So I really, I learned a lesson there. If you don't do your follow-up, then you're probably not going to retain that customer or that distributor. Did you do your shake today? I think it was Louise, actually, on training last week that said that she doesn't call and say, did you do your shake today? She says, how did you have your shake today? What did you put in your shake today? And, you know, that is a way to get them to answer. I mean, you're going to get the answer regardless. You're going to have either, oh, I forgot to take it, or I put strawberries in it and made a smoothie. And, you know, and you need to, another story, are they consistent? And what are they seeing so far? I have a friend who she had cancer, and when she was going through chemo and stuff, of course, the doctors wouldn't let her use it. And that was a real sad thing, because she could have felt so much better going through that using Relive. But once she got done with all of that, she wanted to use Relive. And so I put her on what I was taking. And what I was taking was a serving and a half a day. So 3 shakes, half a serving of the core nutrition, and with all my other stuff in it. And I put her on the same thing I was using, and a week or 2 into it, she wasn't seeing anything. And a week or 2 into it, which was too late, again, contact your upline right away. I got her on the phone with Quila, and in the middle of the call, Quila said, well, how much are you using? And she told her, and Quila said, well, maybe you need a little bit more. Why don't you take a full serving in your midday? And so she added just that other half serving of Classic, I think it was, and immediately started feeling the results. And so that's the one thing that you need to remember too, is that, you know, people are not all the same. They're not going to get, some people are going to get results on less than you use, and some people are going to need more. So if they're not seeing the results, then maybe they need to add a little bit more. And then, you know, once they do start feeling better, say, who do you know that can actually benefit from these products? I was standing in church one day, and one of my friends who started the product says, I need to get more of that. And I didn't know that she had used it already, because she had enough to last longer than that. But she said, I need to get some more of that stuff. I feel what you're saying. I ran out and I feel it. And her husband's standing right next to her, and he says, well, maybe I need to use it. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I should have suggested that you all got on it to begin with. But that you just really need to, somebody's trying to talk, sorry. You just really need to make sure that you ask them who else can benefit. Viewer 16, how did you handle the initial failed attempt at follow-up when someone is on the product but not taking your calls or not getting back with you after leaving messages? Well, you know, that's another thing. You know, if they're not getting back with you and they're not responding to your messages, there may be a reason for that. I don't know. You can, this, like the old saying, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I would continue to maybe put people on their voicemail with short stories. I did that. I had to do a lot of that month that I placed first. I just left messages, and they'll either hear it and maybe, you know, have somebody say that, like me, you know, my friend wasn't taking enough, and so as soon as she took a little bit more, she started feeling the results. You know, to find people who have that kind of a story and just leave the message on their voicemail. And if they don't get back with you, then, you know, you can't chase people. You can't make them respond. So that's what I would do. Okay. Yes, you can do all the right things, but you have to realize that people will make their own decisions. You can't make them make the decision that you want them to. And sometimes they'll surprise you. Sometimes they'll come back to you and say, you know, maybe something is going on in their life and they couldn't get a hold of you. And if you would have given up to begin with, then they may not ever call back. So I would keep calling until they tell you don't call me anymore. And I've had people do that. So Relive tools. Look at all this stuff, you guys. There's so much. Like I've said, there's so many things that Relive has given us to use that are amazing. That Blue Man video, that is just, that is so, how do I want to say it? It's so blatant. It just says, look, this is what you're doing in your life, and this is what you're doing to your body. But look, this is what you can do. If people look at that and they don't see it, again, you know, you can lead lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And you know, learn what the epigenome is. It's so simple. It's not something that you have to be a scientist to understand. It's just, you know, I love the way Dr. Galvez says it's the switches. You know, it's the switches on your DNA, the ones that can be turned on and off. Learn what these things are, and learn what tools you have to use. Again, that video, I've handed that video out and said, take a look at this. I'll get back with you in a few days and see what you think about it. You know, you just have to use all these things. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I don't use YouTube, but your email, and just, you know, there's so many ways that you can share nowadays. Poor Quila, when she got started, they had, I think she says they had a copied handbook that they used, and she said it was even copied crooked on the pages. So, you know, if she can build a business like she has built with that, there's no excuse for us to not be able to do it with all that they provide for us nowadays. So business cycle, we don't have as many events as we used to, but we have enough events. We can make our own events. So we've got an event coming up in Portland next weekend that is going to be really fun, hopefully. And if anybody's out there listening that plans on being there, bring your weights and your yoga pad, because we're going to do a workout. It's not going to be anything real strenuous, and you don't worry about having to keep up or do the whole thing. We're just going to have fun. But we've got international conference. Jim says, oh, I don't like the way this goes away before I get to read it. Let's see. You can do all the right things and have to realize that people make their own decision. All of us that have success have zillions more no's. It's a part of what we do, absolutely. Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? I think that was, I think that's Tom Pinnock. Jim Bueller says, Debbie, if the horse licks on a salt block enough, it'll get thirsty. That's true, Jim. Just wait. Like Quila says, you'll just wait. They'll get sick enough. So anyway, I need to do this. Well, I don't know. I was going to say I need to do this more often, but with 7 children, I'm not sure I can. Business cycle, international conference. We don't have international conference anymore. We have Relive Live, and they're so much fun. Everybody needs to be there. This year I was saying, well, you know, if they're going to be the same, maybe I'll just go to the one on the West Coast, because that's where I live. And then I got to the one on the West Coast. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to miss the one on the East Coast, because it's the 30th anniversary and I want to be there. So just be at all of these things, guys. Be at all of them, and you grow. You get so much information and you get so much excitement. Like I said, we came home from conference and decided that this was a gift we needed to share with more people and place first in the nation the next month. So you need to be at these events. Corporate support. There's the Monday podcast. There's so much going on all the time. You can do your presentations daily. You can do in-home meetings. Get your upline to those meetings, or get your upline on the phone to share her story while you're doing those meetings. 3-way calls. That is very, very important. Put people on the phone, people. If you're not putting people on the phone, having people share their stories, then you're not moving your business forward. That's just how it works. Like I said, I believe the stories are the most important part of this business, because they are showing people what happens, not what can happen, but what happens when you actually use the products and use the business. All right, folks. Here we go. Relive Live. Anaheim is gone, obviously, and I can't wait to hear what the next one's going to be. 26 days. 26 days till I have my trip thing on my phone, and I looked this morning, and I have 26 days till I get on the airplane. Orlando is going to be amazing. It's going to be our 30th anniversary conference, and we're hearing that there's going to be new products possibly, and who knows. Ryan is taking this company to a whole new level, and I'm so excited to hear what's going to happen there. And I'm being on stage with my 4 daughters is just going to be the epic experience for my Relive life, I think. So it's going to be exciting, guys. Make sure you're there. And again, we are having that event in Portland on Saturday next week, and everybody that can be there should be there too. We're going to have some fun, guys. Engage your team. Develop a library of stories, upline, downline, other distributors, tools, and Relive system. You can have a few people that you have on the line that will share their story with new people. There's always people that you can grab and have share a story. To build ambassadors, build relationships, definitely. This is a relationship business. You can't just put people on the products and walk away. You need to build a relationship, because when you build a relationship, you can share what they need to do, and that's you can't share unless you have that relationship. Stay engaged. Email, call, webinars. You just need to be there. Set goals. You cannot get anywhere without a goal. I had a goal when I started losing weight. I had a goal of losing 1 pound a week. I said, if I lose 1 pound a week, that's 52 pounds in a year, and I think that's pretty good. So that was my goal, and if I hadn't had that goal, I probably wouldn't have lost weight, because I would have bounced around and not got there. But you need to have a roadmap to get there. Without a roadmap, you're not going to be able to find where you're going. Stretch their thinking. Don't just say, if they say, oh, I want to make $100 a month. Say, okay, well, that's great. We can do that. That's easy. But what would be your dream amount that you wanted to make? Or, how you want more energy. Great. You want more energy. Well, do you have headaches? Do you have body aches? Do you have, what do you got going on? Start with their head and go to their toe and say, more energy is wonderful, but let's see what happens in a few months. What will it take to make you key director, and how many months? Who will be the next key director in your organization? And then, this is the best thing yet. All you have to do is do this over and over and over again. They say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting something different to happen. Well, this is on the other side of that. This is why that is insane, because if you do something over and over and over again, the same thing's going to happen. If you identify people and connect them with people and share the story and ask for a decision and register them and go, and just keep doing that, and they keep doing that, it's going to grow. This is the reason this is, well, not the reason, but there's another way to look at this circle here. This is just like a snowball. You can pack a snowball and roll it down the hill, and what's going to happen? It's not going to stay the same size. It's going to grow. It might run into some brush and break off the side a little bit, or run into a tree and break apart, but you pack it back together and move it around that tree, and it's going to continue to grow. And that's what's going to happen with your business. If you do this, it's going to grow. Well, I think we are done, guys. I don't know of anything else that I want to share. I will tell you that you can go ahead and open up the lines a little bit if you'd like, and or I can open them up, I guess, and I'm gonna go ahead and I want to make sure that everyone knows that Relive doesn't make any claims to cure, treat, heal, or diagnose any problem. It's your body that's the miracle. Your body, when given the right tools, can do miracles, and that's what it is. So I want to thank everybody for being on the call, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and I want everybody to have a great week, and we'll see you next week.